Alright, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe minis. Now I've been sitting on these guys for quite a while, and I mean quite a while. I was able to find all of them in a Target all at once. I bought them all. I know Pixel Dan did his video a little ways back. I actually had got mine before he got his here in the States. He had to get his from Canada, which that's not a problem. I got lucky. I found mine in a Target. So I just wanted to say. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at these Masters of the Universe minis. I know that Revelations has minis out there. I've seen them. I've seen every single one of them. I don't care for them. The vintage Masters of the Universe is all right by me. It's not that I have a problem with the show or Kevin Smith. I don't care either way. But anyway, this is what I like. So anyway, excuse me, getting on with the review. Here we have, first and foremost, we have Stratos. Now these guys, they're little. They're itty bitty little ones. I think they're really cool. As you see, you have the vintage red on Stratos with his blue jetpack. He doesn't come with any accessories. The articulation really isn't much. They swivel at the waist. Their legs turn a little bit so you can get them to stand, and their arms move just up and down, and their heads turn side to side. Look up. Actually, he does look up. That's pretty cool. I never realized that. You know, I really didn't mess with these guys. He has a little bit of a head tilt too. So that's pretty cool. So I gotta say, I mean, these guys are really cute, and I don't want to stay too much on just one figure, but I mean, look at the I don't want to say articulation, but look at the paint deco on this guy. I mean, the detail in the feathers, I mean, awesome. The hair on his arms, the head sculpt. I mean, look at the paint, very nicely done. You know, his beard, his Amish beard, I'd like to call it, not to offend anybody. That's just what I call it. He is a flying monkey, as we all know, and he is one of my favorites. Stratos is awesome. They got the feathers on the chest. They have the harness with the feathers on it and the detail of the little feathers. The rockets on his back. You know, the fins, the little quigglies on the rockets themselves, his fuzzy shorts, his Masters of the Universe belt and fuzzy shorts, the famous fuzzy shorts of Masters of the Universe. The only thing they didn't paint in was the wristbands around his wrists, which whatever, I don't care. I mean, you know, it's just a mini, and these are cool to have on a shelf. You just set them on a shelf and that's it. I mean, even the feathers on his legs. So that is Stratos and the Masters of the Universe minis. He is a little back heavy with his backpack, so you definitely want to make sure that you have his arms out, because they weigh him. They actually balance him out with his arms being up a little bit. So there you go. That's Stratos. On to the next one. All right. Here we have Ninjor. Now, Ninjor came out way after I stopped with Masters of the Universe when I was younger. I never had this figure, but this guy is pretty cool. You know, he's a ninja. He's got, he doesn't have ninja feet, but what he does have, he has actually, let me get my big fingers out of here and let me use my power sword to show these out. He actually has reptile feet. Like Skeletor's feet or Beastman's, Merman's, so on and so forth. Anyway, you know, this is cool. I mean, look at the decal of the sword and the dragon on his chest. Fabulous for such a mini figure. The paint in the eyes, the eyebrows, all of this stuff here. I mean, I got a little bit of black right here on the edge, but that's on the edge of the mask, so I'm okay with that. And he's just tiny, just teeny, tiny. I mean, look at the red. I mean, he even has like the fins that Skeletor had on his arms in the vintage figure. So really cool, really cool. Like I said, you know, he has his sash going around his waist, and it's tied here. And then the famous, you know, Masters of the Universe belt with fuzzy shorts. Little teeny tiny legs. He missed leg day. They all missed leg day. That's what's great about these figures. I can't help it. These guys they're just a lot of fun to have. Well, you know, there's some detail in the outfit back here and on the back of the head. But yeah, I mean, same thing with Stratos. The articulation is just up and down. Head movement side to side. And he does look up a little bit and he does look down a little bit. Pretty cool, you know, and waist swivel. You know, it'd been cool if they put a little bit of power punch in there like the old figures. That'd be pretty neat. And the legs, do they move? I don't think the legs really move. Maybe that's just something I thought they did. Huh, well, at least Ninjors don't. But then you can see right there his little spiky feet. So that is Ninjor, and he does come with an accessory. I almost forgot. Ninjor comes with his famous sword, and there it is. Ninjor and his sword. And that is Ninjor in the Masters of the Universe minis. On to the next one. All right, so here we are with the Queen of Evelyn. See what I did there? See what I did? Evelyn. So here is Skeletor's main squeeze and her famous jaundice color. I mean, just fabulous. But the detail of her garment right here, everything, the little print, really cool. The skull, okay, on the top of her helmet here, because we all know this is a helmet because she has white hair underneath. Her bands, like I said, not a whole lot of paint, well, except for right here on the legs. So there you go. There's a little bit of paint spillage over. But as far as everything else, I mean, she's cool. She is cool. And once again, just like the rest, I mean, she doesn't have the fuzzy shorts, but she is in the vintage Evelyn outfit. She has the fur around the boots with the straps. She doesn't look so out of proportion like the men do when it comes to the legs and the arms. Actually, she looks like she didn't miss leg day. It looks like she missed arm day, even though she has these huge hands, right? So, yeah, Evelyn, same thing. Not much when it comes to articulation, but the hands move up and down. The waist swivels, and the head looks up, the head looks down, the head turns side to side, and a little bit of a head tilt. I mean, these guys, these guys are just fun. These guys are just fun, and too bad I didn't get to review these guys earlier, but it doesn't matter because I'm reviewing them now. So, and here we are. So there they are, here we are, whatever you want to say. And then we have, we have Evelyn's famous scepter. And I mean, look at the detail. For something so small, you see the claws coming around onto the actual crystal ball that's in there, right? I mean, she is magic, and I believe it's a crystal ball that's in there, right? And the claws kind of holding it in there, right? So her scepter, what do you want to call it? So you just plug that right into the hand like the rest, and there she is holding it. And that is Evelyn. So on to the next one. All right. We have Anti-Eternia TILA. So, just like Evelyn, except for the fact that this is Anti-Eternia TILA, her skin is, of course, all black because she's anti-Eternian. So, you know, that means, you know, she's just evil. And of course, she has the same outfit that Evelyn has, along with the same arm guards, you know, bicep rings and you know, forearm guards, fuzzy boots, of course, with the cross straps on them. And then, but except for with TILA, she has the red red eyes. And then her actual headdress here, or crown, or whatever you want to call this, with the jewel in it, is all red. Her eyes are red, her eyebrows are red, and her hair is red. Well, actually red. These guys are pretty cool. You know, Anti-Eternia TILA. You know, I never had Anti-Eternia HeMan. He would have been cool to get. Coming in this color, you know, all black and, you know, and red. It's like the negative zone TILA. It's pretty cool. And once again, articulation-wise, like I said, move of the arms, move of the waist. The head can look down, the head can look up, and the head can tilt side to side. And the funny thing about this is that I didn't even realize that the heads could, you know, tip up and down and tilt side to side and everything else. And just like everyone else, except for Stratos, TILA comes with her famous snake staff. Now, check out that cobra. I mean, for something so small, you could still see the eye detail in it. You have the cobra, the lines as if it was scales on a cobra. I mean, pretty cool. I mean, this was her weapon. This was her staff that she came with. I like it. I tell you that much. I really do. And it has a little tiny little swirl, you know, curvature in it, like a snake would. The tail actually gets little itty bitty so it could fit into her hand. I mean, these things are small, very small. I mean, they're small. So you just take it and just slide it right into her hand. And there you go. You have TILA holding her snake staff. Anti-Eternia TILA. Very, very cool. Now let's go on to the next one and see who's next, shall we? All right, and we have one of my favorites, I should say, not one of the, but one of my favorite characters is RAMMAN, Anti-Eternia RAMMAN, no less. Not even regular RAMMAN, but Anti-Eternia RAMMAN. This guy is so cool, you know, and of course he's all black, just like TILA was. The thing is that the detail in this guy, I mean, the chains coming over his shoulders to, you know, onto the chest plates here, the way they mount, they go over the shoulders, you know, and in through here. And I guess they mount inside here because they're actually coming out of, sorry about that, they're actually coming out of this part of his actual uniform, or his armor, I should say. You have his armor on the top of his head, you know, his helmet, where he just rams everything with this part of his head. He is an interesting character. He's a big brute. You see the red on the back. You actually see every single one of these, tassels that come down, I guess you would call them. That's probably not the right name. His, you know, his wrist guards on either side actually look like you know, he was putting chains. They did this, the springs around his legs, which was cool because the vintage one, if you remember, they had these round spring-looking feet, right? And then he had these giant boots, and you would press the button on the back of his boot, and he would, after you push him down, he would, you know, do the ramming feature that he came with. I mean, this guy, once again, missed leg day, giant arms, as you can see, which is actually, that's what makes these guys cool. But look at the details of that face. The redness of the eyes, the details of that. I mean, they did a fabulous job on this. I mean, really cool. And the other cool thing is, look at the skull on his belt right there. The skull on his belt, the cross stitch, you know, where he tied his undergarment on. I mean, RAMMAN is really cool. This guy's cool. And, you know, once again, articulation-wise, arms move up and down, swivel at the waist. And the cool thing is that RAMMAN can actually look up that much for having all this armor. And he can't really look down too much, only that much, but you know what? He has a slight head tilt, which is really cool, and he can look a little bit side to side, you know, and not much considering the fact that, you know, he's got this ginormous helmet on, right? But the other cool thing is that in Masters of the Universe fashion, with Anti-Eternia RAMMAN, we have RAMMAN's axe. And this thing is, you know, it's all casted in red plastic, as you can see. All the little quiglies, or whatever you want to call them, studs on the side of his axe. Very cool. Very, very cool. This right here, I mean, beautifully done. Just beautifully done. Not a whole lot of detail. You know, his weapon in the vintage one didn't have a whole lot of detail either. But you know what? This right here is really nice. Nicely done for such a small little figure. You know, I mean, they're not little tykes, thank God, because I wouldn't be buying them. But these guys here, I mean, I found every single one of them, and you plug his axe in there, and I was actually happy. Not expensive, not expensive. I don't know about now, considering that was months ago, but there is Anti-Eternia RAMMAN. So let's move on to our next character that we have, shall we?
Off my magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull."
All right, so here we have Battle Armor HeMan. Now, I figured, you know, I would do HeMan next because, you know, this Battle Armor HeMan, he is one of my favorites. I love the way that they did him and his, you know, big muscly bound self with his just as big giant grin that he has on his face. Now, here he is. I mean, yes, it's a ridiculous face sculpt for HeMan. I like it. It's a lot of fun. His eyes are dark, so there really isn't a whole lot of detail inside the eyes, and you have the dark eyebrows. I don't know why they wouldn't be blonde, but hey, you know, whatever. It's all good. Are they blonde on the top? I don't think so. I think they're dark, right? So here you have, you know, the Battle Armor HeMan. I mean, look at his blonde hair, the detail in the battle armor, the H, not the Iron Cross, but the H, just like it was in the vintage battle armor. His giant muscle-bound arms, his wrist gauntlets, all right? His Masters of the Universe wrestling belt. That's what this always reminds me of. It reminds me of a wrestling belt. That's what these things remind me of. Along with his barbarian shorts, his fuzzy boots, the detail in his boots, all the way on the side, there's just detail on it. All the way down the back of his armor, of course, just like in the vintage. Not a whole lot of detail on the muscle structure and stuff like that, but that's cool. A little detail in the hair, you know. Very well painted. Very, very well painted. Another guy who, once again, I'll say it, missed leg day. So, Battle Armor HeMan, I mean, I have to say, look at the paint on this H that's on here. I mean, it's not spilling over. They did a fabulous, 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 fabulous job with it. I can't say that enough. The only thing that might be missing is just the fact that you can hit it and it would switch. But I guess, you know, it's so small, it would be really hard to do. Would have been cool, but really hard to do. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to keep too much time on these guys. But anyways, you have the Master of the Universe waist swivel. Then you have, you know, his arms that go up and down. And yes, with his rigid jaw and his wonderful HeMan style smile, yes, his head can look up that much. Well, that's actually better than most, right? He can look down, and once again, head tilt, not so much, a little bit, but he can still turn his head side to side. These guys are really cool. I like them. And then plus with this guy here, I know I sound a little excited for for such a little itty bitty dude. But I have to say, comes his battle axe. He-Man's battle axe. I mean, and the detail. I mean, these things, you know, they're small, but that's a nice molded in detail into his battle axe. You know, I have seen in Origins He-Man's battle axe, and it doesn't even have, and it's bigger, and it doesn't even have this type of detail in it. So for them to go and actually do this, it's fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So you have his axe, and then last but not least, you have He-Man's power sword. Now, this power sword, the detail in it is fabulous. Let me show you something. What I've been using for a pointer has been an Origins Masters of the Universe sword. And as you can see, they are almost identical, except for this one's more cartoon accurate by the way it connects there than this one here. Handles are all the same. Look, even around this like you have here. Really cool. Really, really cool that they did this in such a small little thing. So here you have He-Man's battle axe and his power sword plugged into his hand. And there you go. You have Battle Armor He-Man with his battle axe and his power sword. Awesome. Now let's get on to the last but not least.
Back up, muscle boy.
All right, here we are. Last but not least. Last but not least, we have Battle Armor Skeletor. I'm a Skeletor fan. I like He-Man, but Skeletor is the shit for me, I have to say. And Battle Armor Skeletor, I never had him as a kid. I have him now in Origins, just like I have, I had the Battle Armor He-Man when I was a kid, just not the Skeletor. But this little itty bitty guy is fabulous. And the fact that they made him is cool. And I mean, look at that face. Look at the skull. Look at the skull on this guy. The face sculpt, I should say, is fabulous. The red eyes, the nose. I have a little bit of black paint on the nose, but he's so small. And that's actually on the side of him. I mean, look at that. Look at the jaw. The jawline, the teeth, the hood. I mean, no paint spillage really on the hood. Yeah, you have this mark right here from the molded plastic. What are you going to do? I mean, the battle armor, he has all the studs. He has the Hordak symbol on his chest, which I always thought was a bat. But then as I got older, I realized that that's actually Hordak's Horde symbol. He has his skeleton right here that's printed. He's got Hordak's face, which is right here on his belt. I mean, absolutely fabulous. The 3 tabs that come down with the studs on them, that in the vintage and this Skeletor had his muscles. And look, this is what I'm talking about. Ninjor had these, Skeletor has these. Really, really, really nicely done. And then the back of him, as you can see, comes back to the armor. And then he has all the studs that come down on the straps that connect to his armor. I mean, for a small figure, that's some great detail that they put into these guys, right? And then he has his, of course, the classic fuzzy shorts, except for he just has the loincloth that comes down the front that kind of covers that. And then here we go. This is cool. You see that he has his reptile feet here, but yet they painted the top part of his legs like if they were boots purple. So he has the top of the boot, and then his monster feet are coming through the bottom. I mean, this is great. This is great the way that they did this guy. Like I said, I'm a big Skeletor fan, and this guy here, he's awesome. The purple hood, the black, everything. The way they painted that Hordak symbol with the purple inside and then, the neon green going around. I mean, fabulous job for such a small little dude. Fabulous job. But that's not all that comes with the great Skeletor. You have Skeletor's Power Sword, which is the same as He-Man's, of course, except for it's just cast in purple. Very well done. I like it. Very, very nice. And then, the creme de la creme, his Havoc Staff. Look at that goat's head, man. I mean, that right there is just fantastic. Look, I mean, you can even see the teeth. You can even see the teeth in this goat head. I mean, and this thing is small. Yeah, it's a little casted plastic and it's all purple and everything. But I mean, the detail in this thing, for such small figures, like I said, they went all out. Really, really cool, you know, on this Havoc Staff for being so teeny, teeny, tiny. I like it. I love it. Fabulous. Just fabulous. So here we have, of course, Skeletor's Havoc Staff, which you just take and push into his hand there. And then you take his Power Sword, because he has it and he comes with it. And you put it in his hand, and there you have it. You have Skeletor. All right. Now let's see them all together.
Heads, you tin-tongued dolt. I'm talking about my patience, not my body.
All right, everybody, there they all are, all together. So you have the whole collection of all of the Masters of the Universe minis. And listen, when these guys all came, when I bought them all, they came in the actual old bubble packaging, like the old Masters of the Universe figures did. I mean, this right here is fabulous. Of course, I tore them out, threw those little packages away. If I was going to keep them in package, I would have kept them on card, and I would have never have taken them out. But what's the fun in that? I mean, look at these guys. So here you have Anti-Eternia RAMMAN, Anti-Eternia TILA, you have Ninjor, Evil Lyn, you have Battle Armor Skeletor, you have Battle Armor He-Man, and you have Stratos. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of the Masters of the Universe minis. It was a lot of fun to do. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it. Please like, subscribe, share, leave comments in the comments down below. And believe me, guys, when you guys share these videos and like them, it helps the algorithm to help these videos get out there. Like I said, I'm having a blast doing these, and so if I could get the words out, I appreciate you guys hanging in there. I appreciate you guys, you know, watching these videos, and hopefully you are entertained by them because I enjoy doing them. And last but not least, I'm trying to get back up to 3,000 subscribers. Let's try to get to 3,000 and beyond. If you guys could help me out, that would be great. So with all that nonsense being said, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I will catch you all on the flippity flip.